Welcome back to the Travsessed podcast. We're your hosts, Kim and Erran. We are healthcare travelers and the creators of Travsessed. Travsessed provides on-the-clock, off-the-clock resources for healthcare travelers on the clock, being Traveler School off the clock, being our Travsessed adventures where you can go with like-minded healthcare travelers on epic adventures that we lead, host, and plan for you. Everything is done for you. All you got to do is show up and have an amazing time. You can check out all of that on our website at imtravsessed.com. Without further ado, let's get into this week's show.
Please prepare for departure.
Welcome back, guys.
Welcome.
Okay, can we redo that?
Sure.
Welcome back, guys. Like, it just sounds ridiculous.
Okay.
Welcome.
And that was better?
I don't know why I can't get this. Like, what do I usually say? Like, hey?
Hey.
Okay, why am I saying welcome? Do I say that?
I don't think you ever have.
Okay. Hey, guys. Welcome back to the show.
Whoop, whoop.
We hope you had an awesome Thanksgiving, awesome holiday, no matter where you were. A lot of us are working.
I'm gonna jump in here because I feel like you're stumbling.
I'm spacey, yeah.
But that's kind of what I'm saying. I don't know if any of you feel this way, but getting back to work, it's like the whole crew at work and myself. I just can't snap into it. Now, Kim and I did have a crazy ass holiday weekend, but so I think that has a little bit to do with it. But for the most part, I was noticing all the people I work with too are just in this like daze. Like it's like they're tired, they're worn out, they're frustrated. Everybody's like sleepy and just can't get the motors running.
Well, I feel like that always happens during the holidays because it's like you're in this weird interim where you're working, but it's like a different vibe. And then you have all the holidays off. So it's like you're coming off Thanksgiving. You have Christmas. You have another long weekend. I don't know. For me, like working during the holidays, I never feel super motivated. Like I feel like, yeah, people are just a little like checked out. I'm checked out. I'm like, I just want to be home, like having dinner, like looking at the fire, going through my stocking, like drinking nog. Like,
going through your stocking and drinking nog. I don't think you've ever done any of those things.
I drink nog.
You have a half a glass and then you're like, my tummy
you
hurts.
can't have more than that. It'll make you sick. But I like a little bit of holiday nog.
We've had some fun on some nog.
Oh, yeah.
Remember we had our porno pictures?
Oh my gosh.
Where I was wearing a Santa hat and then just used the present as to cover myself and you were like holding your boobs.
Okay.
And your stepdad was in the back room.
I am so cringe thinking of, like, what do they say? Secondhand embarrassment? Like,
I've never heard that.
Really? Well, I was just listening to a podcast and Stassi said that. Like, I've heard that, like, they're like, it's something that you've done. That you've already done, but then you get like embarrassed just even thinking about what you've done, even though it's past.
Kind of like
Secondhand
anxiety.
Yeah, so just even thinking about that, my stepdad was living with us at the time in Jacksonville. Like he was sleeping like a little angel child, innocent, like curled up with a book. And we were out in the living room.
We had 2 living rooms.
Okay. Cool. Are you just bragging? Yes.
No, it's on the other side.
It doesn't matter what living room. It was in the same house. There was no closed doors. We got into the nog. We had a little too much nogger, and then we ended up doing a butt naked photo shoot. Like
with presents.
Where did we even prop up the camera?
On the kitchen, like we had like a bar.
I didn't even know we were into like cameras and pictures and stuff back then.
I always was.
Yeah, I guess. Not pictures necessarily, but we thought it was going to be our holiday card.
We didn't think it was going to be our holiday.
Listen,
it was a joking matter in the moment of like, how funny would this be? And we were just like really getting into shape at the time. And so we had lost all this weight. We were feeling good about ourselves. It just kind of worked.
I thought it was hot. I would actually love to find those pictures.
I mean,
all of our privates are covered.
Yeah.
We just have Santa hats on.
And presents covering.
Yeah. Dude, let's find that. Let's send it out as a holiday card.
You had panties on too.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did. Okay, please don't say that word. I don't like that word. I never want to hear it again.
Okay.
I don't like the P word. It just sounds like It's like panting, petting, panties. Like, it makes me sick to think about.
Okay.
Underwear. Like when you say...
Underwear?
Yeah, underwear. Where are my underwear?
Okay.
I do not like the word panties.
You said it 6 times.
Okay. I wanted to say, too, I was going to say this at the top, but I forgot that we have a couple more spots left for our Patagonia trip.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're listening to this episode and you are interested in learning more about it, reach out to us, because email us. That's the easiest way. hello@Travsessed.com, because then I can send you the guide and more information. I think a lot, like, people have reached out and they're like, because this is primarily a big hiking trip. And they're like, I've never done a hiking trip before. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I can. Like, what's it like? And so I just felt like I wanted to say, and I sent out an email about this, or actually went out today if you're on our email list. If you're not, you should be. But, I don't think I actually talked about this a lot on the email. I forgot. I talked about it on Instagram. I should put it in the email. But I feel like, and tell me what your thoughts are, but Patagonia is the perfect, like, first time hiking trip. Like, if you've never done a multi-day hiking trip, this is a great place to start. And I feel like you're going to be obsessed with a hiking trip, because I feel like it's such a cool way to, like, explore and experience where you are that you're not going to be able to do in other, like, I'm talking about, like, a nature-y, like, mountains, and like a place like Patagonia, a place like Peru. Like, there's certain places in the world that, like, a cool hiking trip, New Zealand, like, you really get to explore where you are in such a different way. And I feel like Patagonia is a really great first time because it's hard, but it's not that challenging. Like, there's challenging parts. It's long days, but it's not like the hardest hike, like Mount Kilimanjaro or something, right? Like,
or Peru,
yeah, or Everest. But it's challenging. So you will be physically challenged, but it's also very enjoyable. And we have porters, we have guides. So you're really just holding your stuff that you need on your back, like your snacks, your water, your layers, things like that. And then we have people that are helping us. Like, we have a support team. So it's not like we're carrying everything on our back and we're hiking 10 miles and, like, pitching tents and cooking ramen noodles. Like, we have a team supporting us. So it's kind of like a bougie hiking because we do have that support. So I feel like if it's your first time, it's a really cool place to start.
I would agree. I think you have to have some level of grit. You have to be able to embrace the suck because of the fact that, like, it is, the elements come into it, and we are walking all day. It's like you walk all day, you do an activity, like you hike, and then you come back and you sleep, and then you wake up, and the next 2 days we're walking all day long. So it's not like, we're going to, like, do a 6-hour hike and come back and chill and, like, drive to the next place. It's like we're walking there. Like, we are walking the entire 46 miles.
Yeah.
And there are some difficult sections, but as you said, I do think that it is a good first time hike.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
So I agree with you because you said I would like to see what you think, but then so I was answering that.
Yeah. No, I appreciate your feedback. No, I think it's a perfect first time for a hiking trip. And honestly, Peru was our first ever, like, multi-day backpacking trip. We had never done anything like that before. And it was hard. But I was like, that was one of my favorite trips because of the hike. And also, because of the challenge and because of the experience we got to have and everything. And, like, at the end, you appreciate things so much more because when we're done with the hike, you're celebrating, you're having dinner. Like, in this case, in Patagonia, we're at this ranch where, we have a chef cooking us a meal. We have tons of wine. We're all sitting by the fire, showered in clean clothes, cheersing. Like, you guys, we just hiked this for 5
sweatpants
days.
And chilling.
Yeah, and you appreciate it. You're just like, wow, like, I did that. My body did that. We did that. I don't know. You just have such a different appreciation than when you just kind of go on a normal trip. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but for me, I just had such an appreciation after the hike. And yeah, I just think it's a really cool trip. So definitely reach out if you're interested.
Well, the only thing I wanted to add was it's cool because yes, it is hiking, but I do think that Patagonia is so much more than just hiking.
I'm glad you said that. I forgot.
Because
I
you know, we get to go to ranches, we get to learn about the culture, we get to eat at some cool restaurants, and we get to hang out with locals and like really teach us about their area. We're going to the lowest the southernmost distillery in the world, and like really exploring the estancias, the horseback riding, there's just so much more. The boat rides, the glacier hiking, the kayaking. You know, it's just like it is a hike. It's just bookended with like it's in the middle, and it's like so much more than just a hike. It's not like you get off the plane, you sleep, and then you start hiking. Like it's so much more, and that's why it's one of my favorite trips.
100%. It's hiking focused, but there's more to it. Mm-hmm. I think too, just speaking of the hiking, we're hoping we can work it out, go to Iceland in August and do a 6-day hike that is supposed to be amazing. Our friend Pat, who's come on like all of our Travsessed trips, reached out and he told us about this amazing hike through Iceland, like volcanoes, glaciers, just I don't know, lava fields. Like it's just supposed to be incredible, and you sleep in mountain huts. So we want to go do that and then explore some of Iceland and do that as a Travsessed trip in 2025, because like those are the kinds of trips like we love doing, where there's like a hiking aspect but then an exploring aspect, right?
Totally. I feel like you got to do something that pushes you, that's difficult, that you can do together as a team, but also like experience the location you're in, you know, with the people, the culture, all of that. That's pretty much how you and I travel when we're by ourselves anyway. Yeah. And it's like anytime that you and I just go lay on a beach somewhere, we're just like, ugh.
That's
like,
not even our vibe.
That's what I'm saying. It's like we might do that for a day or two. Then it's like it's time to go.
Yeah, 100%. So stay tuned for that. I think 2025 is going to be really cool for Travsessed Adventures because there's 3 big trips that we want to do. So the Iceland hiking trip, Kilimanjaro safari. We've done a safari in Tanzania and it was incredible. And so we want to do hiking Mount Kilimanjaro, which has been a huge goal of ours. This will be very specific who comes on this trip. And then do like a glamping sort of situation in the Serengeti, which I think will be amazing. And then also Everest Base Camp. Like we have some really big hiking things specifically, trips that we want to do in 2025, which I'm really excited about.
Cool. Okay. I found your perfect hiking boots, by the way.
What are they?
Almost ordered them, but they didn't have your size.
What?
Clouds.
Ugh. I'm willing to try them.
They're amazing. They're exactly what you want. The low cut, not boot, completely waterproof, lightweight, built for wet and dry conditions, like for traction. Okay. I mean, and they were like pink and like a cool color.
Okay. I'm on the hunt for a good travel shoe. Hiking. Yeah, because I haven't been so lucky, so I'm like trying to find the perfect shoe.
Well, and it's funny because we do all these hiking trips, and I will say that I've never realized that hiking boots are like politics and religion in a way. It's like everybody's different. Yeah. Everybody has their own different feel. Some people are like, what are the ones that you got that you gave away like the first day? What brand is that? But like everybody gets that brand.
Oh my God. I don't know.
And then you've had La Sportivas.
I love those,
which you really like, but they're not waterproof. And then the Gore-Tex ones you didn't really like because they were boots. And then you've had you bought I think we spent over $1,600 in the past ridiculous. 3 trips for your hiking shoes.
Hiking shoes are super important too. So order me those because then I'll just wear them around and make sure. And pro tip, I learned that you have to get a size bigger because
half size,
a full size. I heard a full size because your foot swells so much, especially on these long hiking trips, that's why the shoes I bought in Peru were perfect on my feet. But then when I got my own size 8 and they said I should have gotten a 9 because when I started hiking, it hurt so bad because my feet got so swollen. So anyhow, okay. So I guess
end it with, if you are interested in going on the trips and actually seeing what 2025 trips are all about and 2024 as well, make sure you're on our Travsessed adventure list. You can get there by going to imtravsessed.com and checking out the adventure tab, and it's just an easy sign up to jump on and get interested. You're basically getting all the information as it comes out. We email it to our email list first. So,
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think where we left off last week or the week before, like we were still in our roach-infested apartment. Yeah. We were going to be heading down to Atlanta for Thanksgiving. And now we are recording this podcast from our new, cozy, non-roachy, vibey apartment.
Clean.
That is the first thing I said, because honestly, as travelers, 11 years, we've lived in a lot of places. Like, we're not specific. We're not high maintenance. We're kind of like, okay, does this work? Good location, got the job done. You know, we want to save money. I can pretty much live anywhere, but it's got to be clean. For me, I don't care like what it necessarily looks like, but it's got to be clean. And that other place was just nasty in the roaches, and it was just a whole thing. So this place, we walked in and I was like, oh my gosh, like it's
the smell.
Oh, it's like it
smelled like walking into a Pier 1.
Yes,
you know? Just
and the holidays.
Well, now because you have holiday.
No,
candles.
but I feel like when we walked in, I smelled like snowflakes and Christmas and peppermint and bleach and just like vacuuming. Like it felt so good.
They did have those perfect vacuum lines on the carpet.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Like nothing makes
it looked like a house baseball field.
Yeah. It was like a wet dream for me. It was so nice. So we went down to Atlanta.
Oh my gosh.
Like a crazy
Well,
weekend.
back it up, because it's like I worked Monday, Tuesday. They came in on Tuesday and told me I had Wednesday off because the census was lower and they could handle it. And so Kim and I were like, okay, like let's go on Wednesday. That'll be really cool, because my family was having their Thanksgiving on Wednesday. And so we were going to miss the whole Thanksgiving thing. So I was like, if we can be there, like let's go. And so we literally packed up our apartment on Tuesday night.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember that?
I blocked it out, but now that you said it, yeah.
We packed up our apartment on Tuesday night, got everything in bins to where when we came home, all we had to do was like finish up. And then went to bed, woke up early at 6 something. And then Kim talked me into 7:45. We ended up leaving at 8, which was good.
Yeah. And
then we drove 10 hours to Atlanta and got there at 6.
Which was so long, yeah.
And they were all waiting to eat. So then it was like go time for dinner. So it was like, no, like just, relax.
Which I was freaking starving,
I was starving
dude.
too, I know. So it was good. And so we had an amazing meal with the family. It was awesome. Just to kind of like, we went outside, sat by the fire. Like it was really cool. That whole experience just in general was amazing. Like my uncle and aunt are so awesome at entertaining.
They're we want them to be our parents, basically. Like, love our parents.
Yeah.
Mom, love you. Not that mom listens, but like, we love our parents, but they are like the quintessential like mom and dad that like I've always wanted. Like Jen, his aunt, she's absolutely amazing. She's like the host. Like she always wants to make sure like you have snacks, and do you want a glass of wine? Let me make your bed for you. Like, and not just like, oh, she's waiting on you, but she wants to make, like, she takes care of her guests, and she's also like just fun and easy to talk to and ask questions. And you just feel like you walk in and it's like, she's like mom, like pull up your chair. Let me pour you a glass of wine. Tell me everything. Mm-hmm. Like what you want, like your mom to do, which like we don't really have with our moms. Like it's a little different.
My mom does.
Yeah. Right. It's just a little different, you know? And then like your uncle is just, he loves games and he's competitive and he's always like setting up.
Still in 20s.
Oh my God. He's like, for the kids, he's like, all right, guys, I'm betting $20. Like who wins this next competition? Like he's so competitive, but like, I love that. They have this huge backyard. So they have like cornhole set up and can jam and croquet, which I freaking love. I've never played croquet in my life until I went to your uncle's house. But I feel like it's good, wholesome fun. Like they have this beautiful family. They have 5 kids. 3 kids.
So
a lot of kids.
Josh.
But they're all grown
Paige,
up, like
Faith, Nick, 5.
And they're just like good, like cool kids. Like I feel like they're just a cool family that does things together. They talk, they share, they ask questions, they want to play games, they want to, have a glass of wine. Like I just love being there. I love being there. Like,
well, it's crazy because Kim and I noticed we did like a brunch on Thursday and we were sitting around and the kids are, Nick's the oldest, he's 32, and then there was 23 and 18 at the table, 19. And it was like crazy because I noticed like they were all engaged in the conversation. It wasn't necessarily about them. They were asking questions. Nobody had their phones. Mm-hmm. And it was just like hours of conversation around a table.
Yeah.
And it's like I just don't see that anymore. And I was really impressed with their ages and being in college and like just how interested they are in other people and the way that they can conversate and carry a conversation. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable.
I feel like it's more rare. I feel like they have this beautiful, wholesome, connective family that like you want, or that like when I envision a family, like that's like the vibe of like we're sitting around laughing, playing cards. Like their family is like so big into cards.
Well, that's
amongst other games, like competitive.
Well, once you
games.
get done with the yard games and it gets dark,
yeah,
and you can't play with spotlights anymore, you go inside and you play cards.
Yeah, and
put a football game on.
Yeah, I could do without that. It's like so much football all weekend. It's like okay, but like they're big sports, whatever. It's their thing. And
both my cousins are Division I football.
No, I know, but. What was I getting at? Oh, that it almost seems like you see it on like a Publix commercial where you're like, that's not like everyone's giggling with like a mimosa and like talking about life, like, and they're hugging and kissing and like you're like, it's a Publix commercial. Like, okay, that's like not real, but like it is real there. Mm-hmm. And it's just, they're just good quality, loving, fun family. Like I really enjoy spending time with them.
Well, not to mention my uncle who was like hustling his whole life selling fax machines, like business fax machines, to now being like a well-known entrepreneur in like his area and like created multiple businesses and now like has sold them and is starting something new and he's always thinking about like what next business he can open. So it's a lot of fun for me to hear him talk and like pick his brain and just see his excitement with things. And it's just really cool to see that from a role model point of view of like, wow, like that's really awesome. Like his wife was talking with Kim about Legree or whatever you're doing here. Legree Pilates. And he's like, hey, Jen, does that sound good? You want to open that up? Like, we should open the studio. And I was just like, dude, that's so awesome.
It's like he's our entrepreneurial spirit animal. Like when we left, we're like, that's so inspiring. So not that I want their life or their relationship or anything like that. Like everyone has their issues. Like it's obviously nobody's perfect or no one's life's perfect, but I loved what I would want for myself is like the fact that he's an entrepreneur and he's had some great success and he's taken risks and some of those risks have paid off. And now he is at a place in his life, they're in a place in their life that they can reinvest. Like, oh, you want to open this studio? Oh, I think he's so creative where like, he had, we were telling them our dream of being able to open up a plane, like an airplane Airbnb, where we take like old like airplanes from airplane graveyards and fix them up and make this like cool Airbnb where you sleep in these planes. And that would be amazing, but super expensive. So obviously we'd have to have money to like invest in that. And so he was telling us like he had that same vision, but he wanted to do it with these old containers. And he just has all these like really cool creative ideas. Like, I think this would be really cool in this area. And like, I love that kind of a mind. And obviously you and I, that's like what we love to talk about. And so they're in a position that like they could do that. Like, let's give this a try. And also like, it kind of made me think too, is he's 60, she's almost 50. And I used to think that was old, but I'm like, wow, to me, it's like so relatable because they're still living their best life. they're entrepreneurs. They're creating new things. Their kids are gone. They're traveling. They both like look amazing. They're having, fun. They're eating good food. Like, it's like, wow, 50 and 60, like that can be you and I.
Crushing it.
Yeah. And obviously their kids are grown and out. When we're 50 and 60, we'll have like a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
But like the route we're going. But yeah, I don't know. It was just inspiring to have that of like, I always feel good when I'm there. And I do feel like they're good role models for us of like what I would want to create for myself.
Totally.
I just love them.
I agree.
Mom and Dad.
Well, I mean,
we really want them to adopt
uncle and aunt. I mean, they treat us just as well as their kids.
I know.
Which is awesome.
So, anyways, we had an awesome weekend there with the fam.
Mm-hmm.
And then
with Papa.
And Papa G.
Papa G.
Well, it's not Papa G, but I just want to call him that. Yeah Papa C.
Yeah, he's 92, and my grandmother, who had passed away, it was going to be their 69th wedding anniversary on November 25th. So it was like a memorial for my grandmother. It's the first Thanksgiving that she's not with us, and so everybody got together. Like I said, all the cousins came in, and it was just nice having everybody. But it was sad because he just cries and he watches his football, and he's still happy, but
I don't know. Thanksgiving was their 69th wedding anniversary. It's like, it's unfathomable, like how he's even alive. I mean, imagine being with you and I married 69 years.
Happily.
Yeah. Oh my God. They were the love of each other's lives, right? Like they were, the most beautiful couple, like till the end. Like they would just sit and hold hands, like all day. Like they were just so, gosh, like I just love their love for each other. And yeah, I can't imagine 69 and then you're just like, wow, like my everything is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't imagine. But he's got, your mom takes care of him and she's with him and he's got so much love around him. But I just can't imagine how he feels. But it was so nice to be with everybody but oh my God, the saddest part.
We were building it up.
Oh, I blocked this out too. We had to leave LaRue.
Yeah, not me. Actually, you pulled up today, and I looked in the back seat, and I thought she was there. And
Stop.
Just because she used to come and get me from work, because you would take her out, and then she would be in the back, and she'd be so happy to see me. Yeah.
It's heartbreaking. I felt sick leading up to us because we knew we were going to leave her with Erran's mom, and it's almost like one of those things like. It's happening, but you're just like, okay, but it's not here yet. And you don't want to think about it, but like, it's coming in and you just have this pit in your stomach and it like hurts. And so I felt like that leading up to the trip. And we decided to leave her with Erran's mom because for us, we're going to Bali in January. We're going to Patagonia in April. And then we're going to Peru in June or July. And we plan on coming back to West Virginia because Erran's going to be working in between, right? Like,
well, and that was the cool thing is like we didn't know that going into it.
Right.
If we'd be finding another contract post-January. And so after we come back from Bali, but like West Virginia, this place I'm at, they're like, we have 2 IR Tech travel assignment openings and we haven't filled it. And so we need 2 people. And so if you're willing to come back, we're willing to work through all of your trips.
Which is freaking amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a weird schedule because we'll come back and we're like, oh, we have 6 weeks. Come back. Oh, we have 7. We have 10. So it's not like, oh, you can pick up an entire contract. So this worked out perfectly. Plus, it's an easy gig. You're making good money and it's a walk in the park. So we're like, okay, let's milk this as long as we can until we go to Peru. And so because of the Travsessed adventure trips, we would have to, because we leave for longer periods of time and we don't know anyone here, and I don't want to just put Mimi on like a random rover because she's older now. She doesn't want to be around other dogs she doesn't know, and
she's a little bit more needy.
Yeah, she's a little high maintenance. She's about to be 14 years old. Like,
we're not going to be with her on her birthday.
We'll FaceTime. But we would essentially have to drive back to Florida, for instance. Example, we leave for Bali on January 6th. Erran is done with his contract on the 4th. We would have to drive all the way down to Florida to drop Mimi off with Erran's mom, fly out of there, do our trips, come home back to Florida, then drive back up to West Virginia. We would have had to do that again in April. And it was just like, that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
No, and on top of that, we realized that Charleston has an airport 10 minutes up the street that does direct flights to Atlanta, which then allows us to take Delta from Atlanta to New York, where we fly out all the time.
Right.
So it was like perfect. And we don't have to drive. Like, we can literally just leave from here and keep our amazing place.
I can't even imagine coming home from Bali, like how we felt with the last group. Of we're exhausted, right? You've been we just ran 2 trips, and you're flying home for 2 days. You're freaking exhausted, and then landing and having to drive 15 hours or how far? I don't know. However many hours.
It ends up being like 12 hours.
12 hours back was like all you want to do is come in your own house and like shower and crawl into bed. And so also
and get a pizza.
And obviously eat a pizza and like watch Netflix. And so we just felt like, okay, we're going to have to do this with Mimi. That's a lot of back and forth and we don't have to. And so it just makes sense to let Julie take her for this time while we're here until we know what we're doing next. And so we knew it was the right decision. Also for her going back and forth.
That's what I'm saying. Her anxiety level has increased even more. Now that we've been doing this for 11 years, she knows that we're dropping her off with somebody and she starts to get really, really anxious and you can feel it and it's sad. So at least she's stable.
And settled.
But leaving her, it's still...
Well, and we also know, like, your mom takes the best care of her. She takes better care of her than we do. Like, she gives her a lot of attention. Mimi loves to just sit with Papa and watch Hallmark movies. Like, it's a good vibe
football.
for her. Yeah, like, it's a chill, it's a really good environment for her. But even though we know all of that, like, leaving her, I was, like, crying uncontrollably. Like, my heart... pulling away, like even now thinking about, like I was so emotional, like because she wanted to come with us so bad and she was like trying to get into the car and she was like jumping out of Aaron's mom's arm trying to like come into
started panting.
It was heartbreaking because she wanted to come with us and like I know that she's going to be okay but it breaks my heart knowing that her heart was probably hurting too. Like she was like, please don't leave me, I want to come with you, like. And, like, that kills me.
Yeah. No, and I think, too, we were talking about it because usually we drop her off for these trips and we're gone 30 days, 6 weeks, stuff like that, and then we come back. And it's like this one could be 6 months.
Yeah.
And that just feels too long.
It is too long. Like, I can't. It's too long.
But I don't know what else to do.
I know.
So maybe we go get her and she lives with us until... Because if I end in July, we have to leave.
Yeah.
So maybe we do that, you know, but.
It's been really, really hard. A big adjustment, especially because when we don't have Mimi, we're never in the United States. When we're here, we have her. Like, you know, she's our baby. And so it does feel weird not having her in this apartment. Also, I'm trying to focus on the good. So it's been really nice, like, not having her shedding everywhere. Because, like, I'm a freak with the hair. So I'm, like, always vacuuming. Not having the hair, like I can sit on the couch with this blanket and there's not hair coming out everywhere all over my black clothes. And then not taking her out. I mean, honestly, it's freaking freezing outside. And I'm not complaining that I don't have to take the dog out, you know, first thing in the morning.
No, I know. And on top of that, it's like you can focus on getting work done and you can stay at the cafe and like not have to rush home. And, you know, you're leaving and going back to Florida and I'm going to be working all day and then coming home, taking her out before work. And, you know, it's like not anything that we've had to do. I know people do that all the time. They have their dogs and they live by themselves and that's a normal thing. But for us,
we have the routine.
We're trying to dig deep for some positive things here.
Right. We're like focusing on what we've enjoyed, like not having her. And it's just funny because we're like, dude, when we pulled away and we were both, I was crying. You weren't crying, but you were upset. And we were like, dude, I can't even imagine. Like, we're definitely not ready for kids because leaving her was the hardest thing I've ever done. And I know she's in great hands and taken care of. Kids, like, because you and I are like, oh yeah, we'll have kids. We'll just drop them off with your mom and we'll go travel.
That's what you always say. And what have I always said? Babe, we are not just going to like keep traveling the same way that we do. Like, yes, we will be a travel couple with a child. Like, it's just, it is what it is. I don't care if people think it's difficult. We have friends that do it all the time. you can do it, and we will do it because it's important to us. So therefore, we'll make it work. We'll bring people along with us to watch the kid if we need to. But the way that you were just like, oh, we'll just go for 6 weeks and drop them off with your mom. And I'm just like,
never said
that
6
would
weeks.
never happen. Ever. And they're like, yeah, when they turn 2. And I'm like, there's no way your kid would want to be away from you that long.
First of all, I never said 6 weeks. I was saying, like, if we went and, like, ran a Bali trip, right? We're gone for 2 weeks. We come home. It would be like, obviously we wouldn't be staying extra, or we would bring your mom with us, who's going to be our nanny, and then, like, they would come with us. I don't think you could leave a kid for 6 weeks. Obviously, like, my sister, like, if she goes on a trip for more than, like, a week, she's like, it's too much, right? So, like, I'm not a mom. I have no idea how that feels. So, obviously, it's easy to say things before you have kids, and then you're like, how did I ever think that was possible? Like, people can't even leave their kid for a night, right? We're like...
Well, that's a little clingy.
Well, when they're young. But, yeah, that is a little stage 5 Klingon. But all I know is that feeling I had with Mimi was so deep and so sad that, like, that's a whole nother ball game. So...
Yeah, well, I still feel it.
Oh my gosh.
It's not like, we go on our trips and I'm like, oh, like Mimi, oh. But like we're going home now it's like this everlasting pit.
Yeah, like I'm sick about it. So
anyway,
that's what?
No, I was just going to say, so leading up to this, because I wanted to talk about the weekend, because it was like we left Wednesday, drove 10 hours, spent time with the family, left on Friday, dropped Mimi off, went through that emotional roller coaster, drove all day Friday, and then I was like, I can't do it anymore. So we pulled over, and we stayed in what we thought was a nice hotel.
Wait, we stopped and got a Publix sub and had a Publix sub with Geeks.
That's what it was. Yeah. We stopped with Kim's stepdad, because I'm like, we left early. Like, anyway, I had like 3 hours to go, and I couldn't make it. So, because we stopped and had lunch with Kim's stepdad in Tennessee, and then we got back on the road and we drove, and then we were like, ooh, we don't have Mimi, we can stay in like a fancy hotel instead of a pet friendly one. I feel like it was nice, wasn't it?
It was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't anything to write home about.
We were like, I was so excited because we didn't have to worry about it being pet friendly. We could stay anywhere, which usually we always, oh, this one's great, but it's not pet friendly, or you have to pay like $50 for the pet, which is ridiculous. So, like, we can stay anywhere. And then we ended up staying at, I think it was like a Quality Inn or something, Comfort Inn.
No, it was not. It was like it was a Hilton.
Oh, Hampton. Because it was, like, close. And I was so excited because I'm like, ooh, we don't have to take Mimi out tonight. We're going to crawl in bed. We'll watch, like, some bad hotel TV, like stuff you would never watch at home.
Tornado shows.
Cuddle, yeah. Or, like, Locked Up Abroad, like, things like that. Or the Food Network. And I was, like, so excited. We showered. We, like, curled into bed. And Erran, like, passed out. Like, not even one show. Nothing. And you're that's not normal for you. Like, unless you're exhausted. And I was so pissed because How to Catch a Smuggler Peru edition was on. So they were in the Lima airport, which we've been to a million times. I'm like, you would have loved this. This is the best possible scenario. And you were passed out snoring. We didn't even get to enjoy our hotel night.
I did.
Yeah, you did. Sleeping.
So then we got up the next morning on Saturday.
Drove home.
We drove home, and then we instantly started moving.
We walked into our apartment. We got home at what, noon? No, like 11?
12. We had DoorDash.
We ordered Jersey Mike's, so it was there. Walked in at noon, ate really quick, and then moved our entire apartment. We didn't have that much stuff, but like it was two loads.
2 full loads in the Jeep.
Yeah. And then we moved into our new place, moved all the stuff in.
We moved it in. Didn't get it all settled.
We didn't get everything done.
We were enough time to have dinner and be done at 6:45 before the Florida State game.
Yeah. Which is just like crazy, dude. Like, it's been like a whirlwind.
So then we woke up on Sunday and we realized we needed to go get things, and Kim was in a mood.
Dude, I was so grumpy. I woke up and I was just like, it was one of those days that I didn't want to do shit. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to like have something to do, somewhere to go, something to unpack, something to move. Like, I just wanted to like lay in my bed and be cozy and just like have food delivered. I didn't want to cook. I just wanted like one of those days. And but we couldn't. We had to go to Target and we had to get the stuff but also like.
And then you wanted a Boboli.
Yeah, I did. But I could have Instacarted that. We didn't have to go get it. But also we were like teetering because it's like I wanted to just like have a lazy day, but then it's also hard when I want to get unpacked. I want to get settled because you don't feel completely relaxed when you still know you have to unpack your clothes and get organized. So it's like I wanted
bins laying around.
Yeah, I wanted to get that done. I was just like, fuck, dude, I don't feel like doing this right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to.
Oh, I know. You were very, very vocal about that.
Well, I just wanted a Pepsi. I just wanted a Sody Pop.
But we were in Target. You never mentioned anything about a Sody Pop.
Well, when we left, I wanted it. And then you went to the gas station and you didn't get me a Sody Pop. And then we had to go to the grocery store and get all that.
We forgot things, and then you had to Instacart it anyway.
Oh my God, it was just one of those days that I was not feeling it. But we got it done, and then you went back to work on Monday.
That's what I'm saying. And so here we are.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think I feel like...
Run down?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But this weekend we have no plans. Like, we have some... like stuff to like work on a little bit, but like for the most part, because you were like, I want to have a day. I don't want to do anything. I want to sleep in if I want. I want to lay in bed if I want. I want to watch football if I want, or a movie. Like, I just don't want to have anything to do where I have to like talk or figure things out or, you know, come up with a plan, or like, I just want to have like a totally chill day. And I'm like, I am here for that. So I think we're going to do that on Saturday.
Oh, I'm
just
so
completely
excited.
Relax.
Because it's championship Saturday as well. So it's like, I could just lay here and take naps in between games.
But then we won't get to cuddle.
Buddy, we'll have an all cuddle day.
But
if you promise me that, like, that it's like Saturday is just a chill day, all day Sunday we can have
I don't want to do that on Sunday. I like having a chill day if we at least get to like watch a movie together.
We can watch a movie.
Like,
okay.
I don't want to watch football.
All right, we can watch a movie. It's as many movies as you want on Saturday, and then 8 o'clock is the Florida State game.
That's fair. Okay.
We can have Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its and pop?
Yeah. And mint chocolate chip ice cream.
No. I don't want that.
All right.
Speaking of which, the brownies are in there, and I just thought of it.
Ooh.
Erran brought home 2 brownies that we haven't ate yet, and I just remembered they're in there, and like, we're starving, haven't had dinner yet, and now I just want to eat the brownie and popcorn for dinner.
Sounds good to me, but Kim's making me a taco salad.
I ain't making shit.
What?
You're making yourself
Dude,
a taco
you promised.
salad. Oh, it's 6:30. Okay.
All right,
guys, we gotta go. Thanks for hanging out with us today, wherever you are, in your car, at work, doing the dishes,
Whoa.
vacuuming, laundry. We appreciate working out. We appreciate you being here, listening to us rant, and we will be back Tuesday with another traveler quick tip. See ya out there. See you out there, little freaks.
Okay.